73-year-old woman gets pulled over on the interstate in her RV for doing 70 miles an hour in a 55 zone. She has no money to pay a ticket. What does she do? Well, we'll tackle that question and a bunch of other really good ones from you, my subscribers. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Dr. Dave, the RV dummy, and I let some questions and comments accumulate, knowing that I'd eventually get to them for a special show, and this is the special show. We're going to go right through a lot of really great questions here and some comments that you've made, and we'll tackle them all. We'll talk about them all. So without further ado, let's get into it. But if you like what you see, give us a like, give us a subscribe, because I'm the RV dummy. Okay, first question. Actually, I think the first one's a comment from Rachel Williams. She says, selling your home and living in an RV makes sense for seniors because when medical bills start flooding in, they can't take your home. You are considered homeless by living in an RV. Well, I don't know. I mean, Yoko and I RV. We have our Siren, our Class B, because we love it and we have the money to do it. It's not like we're doing it because we're like on our last dollar bill and this is the only way to like survive. No, I wouldn't really recommend that. I think it's a very, very dangerous situation. If you've got no money, I just don't think RVing is for you. You've got to accumulate some money, somehow work it out. If you don't have the money to do it, then so be it. But I would not use an RV as a tool to become homeless so they can't take your stuff. I just don't think that's a wise idea. I think it's a very dangerous situation. Let's get into the next question from David Gabri. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. David says, since I found you, your channel has more than tripled. Congratulations. Thank you so much for that, David. You noticed. We're doing really well. We love it. We're just having so much fun in this community. You had a poll asking if your channel should tackle other topics, and I believe it should, mostly because of your wisdom and life experiences. But my question today is, there is a nomadic YouTuber who was going through New Mexico from Texas on her way to Arizona. She is over 70 years old, and in the video she stated that she was being pulled over by State Patrol for going 70 in a 55 zone. Scary scenarios were going through her head because she has no money to pay a speeding ticket. Without adequate funds, should she not be nomadic and instead maybe stay where she can get local support? Should she try to survive on what she has and hopefully the community can assist her with social services? Or is the road and boondocking in national forests best for her? Again, first of all, if you're down to your last dollar and okay, let's back up for a second. Don't speed. Go the speed limit, especially in an RV. In an RV, you know, we don't have as much control and braking time and things like that. Go the speed limit. Stay in the right lane. Move over to the center lane to pass if you need to, but don't speed. So that's number one. If you get a speeding ticket and you're down to your last dollar and you're wondering, like, do I even have enough money to pay the speeding ticket, then you should not be on the road RVing. You should find yourself in another situation to accumulate some money somehow until you have enough to get on the road and RV, because expenses are going to come up. Suppose other things happen. Suppose you blow a transmission, or you can't do that. You can't do that. I always say to my listeners, my viewers, not listeners, you're viewing me, hopefully you're viewing me, not listening, but it's whatever. I always say, pay cash for what you can buy, what you can afford, pay cash, don't go into debt, have an emergency fund. So it's not if things happen, when things happen, you can dip into your emergency fund and pay, and then, you know, add to your emergency fund. You should always have cash on hand lying around because things do come up, and you cannot be, like I said, you can't be down to your last dollar and just cross your fingers, hope for the best, especially if you're in your 70s. God forbid something happens, you have a health problem on the road, you're boondocking in a national forest and you have no money. What are you going to do? Come on. Let's be real, be realistic. This is life. You gotta live life like an adult. Please. Philip Reyna asks, do I have portable Wi-Fi when I'm RVing? The answer is yes. Yoko and I carry Wi-Fi. First of all, we have, most campgrounds have Wi-Fi. So that'll be kind of our first choice. But if it's not strong enough, if it's not fast enough, we have hotspots on our iPhones. So as long as there's a cell signal somewhere, we can use our cell phone as a hotspot. We're paying for data, but we have unlimited data. So and then we can power our laptops, iPads, whatever. But on our cell phones themselves, we use the internet. We use the cellular signal to get service wherever we are. If there's no cell service and there's no Wi-Fi in the campground, we're kind of screwed. We haven't gone to a satellite situation yet. We haven't found it necessary, and it's pretty expensive. Sir Christopher 5 asks, where are all the Class Bs? You know that song, I think it was by Peter, Paul, and Mary. Maybe it was. I don't think Dylan sang. I don't think it was a Dylan song. I think it was Peter, Paul, and Mary. I'm going to get killed on this because I think I'm wrong. But where have all the flowers gone? Long time past. So this is where have all the Class Bs gone? Well, he says where are all the Class Bs from the year 2000 to 2010? It's all I can afford. Smart. Sir Christopher C., you're not going out on a limb buying something you can't afford with debt. Don't do that. So you're smart. I like that. The newer Class Bs are very expensive. That's true. I see many Class A's cheaper than the smaller RVs. What's the deal? I'm bummed. I want something under 25 feet. I want Class B. Well, Sir Christopher, yeah, absolutely. You can get a Class B. My two favorite sites on the on the iPhone, especially from an app, and I'm sure you can do this on the Droid as well. RV Trader, it's an app, and also RVT.com. It's also an app. So those are the two main things I used when we were looking for our latest RV. Craigslist is full of scammers. I'd be very, very careful with Craigslist dealers, and I think RV Trader and RVT are the absolute best. I think there's probably more. I like those two. I like those two a lot. You can find them. Trust me, Sir Christopher. You can find them. They're available. Travel Lady. What site is best to look for an RV? I'm 67. I'm a retired owner of my home. Plan to live full-time in a Class B 19-foot trailer. Well, good. We just answered that one. RV Trader and RVT. Go the apps on the iPhone or on the iPad or on your Droid. You'll find them. Again, great sites. Shirley Deerolf 1 says, looking for a van to eventually take off in after I sell my business and home. I saw a 2000 leisure travel van here in Pennsylvania. Dealer said it had a small dash fire in the past. Could this be yours? Well, for those of you that are new or haven't seen some previous videos, yeah, our original Class B was a leisure travel 2000, fits that description. We had to get rid of it because it did have a dash fire. It was a pretty bad dash fire. It was caused by some sparks. They were changing our coach battery. They didn't know what they were doing. They shorted something out. Sparks came all the way up to the dash where it was wired up to the audio system, and it was just a huge mess. Now, I do know that I think somebody bought it at auction, I'm pretty sure, because I've tried to follow it, and he restored the whole dash, and I saw pictures, and it looked really good. So, Shirley, if you go see this, it's got to be mine, because it should have between 85 and 90 some thousand miles on it. I'm just guessing that's what it has now, 85 to 100,000 miles on it. The little hint also, if they left a Colorado bumper, not a window sticker, a Colorado window sticker. If it has that, it is definitely ours. So make sure you're getting a super good deal. That thing should probably be selling for about $10,000 now. Yoko and I did put a lot of money into it. We put brand new tires on it, brand new suspension, a lot of other stuff that we fixed up. It is definitely nice. It has its quirks. It's not perfect. It's got some things. There was some leaking during heavy rain. If it was tilted a certain way, we definitely got some leaking, which you're going to need to be careful about. So if you are interested in that, make sure you look at it very closely. At this point, I would definitely have an RV mechanic or an RV tech look at it very closely. I think the engine was in really good shape. That was not a problem at all. But have an RV tech check it over to make sure the leak didn't get worse, and make sure the dash is wired properly and everything else works in there. If so, if you get clearance from an RV tech, go for it. And I want to see it again someday. So maybe if you do buy it, let's meet up on the road sometime, and Yoko and I will treat you to a cup of coffee or something like that. We're big spenders. Let's see, Russ Sperry, he says, okay, I'll bite. Will the whitening work on dentures? He's referring to a video I did about a year or so ago. I'm a dentist by profession. I don't practice dentistry anymore. No more. Long time. But I still do know about, I'm still a dentist. And I was talking about whitening my teeth as we're traveling in the RV across the country, just putting special whitening trays in. And he's asking whether that'll work for dentures. The answer is not really. No, it works on tooth enamel and not on plastic. So just get your dentist to maybe make you a new set or somehow fix the teeth in the front with really nice white ones. But no, the whitening will not. The whitening that you get in the stores or at the dental office will not do it. James McHarg says and he's referring to a video we did about a year or so ago, year ago plus. We went to some gas station or truck stop, and we just had all these scammers coming up to us asking for money and all kind of crazy stuff. So he said all scammers should be shot. Most of them don't belong in this country anyway. Wow, that's a little harsh. Most scammers should be shot. Well, I won't even touch that one. That's his opinion. That's a little rough. Ilana Spitzer says, thanks for encouraging all of us to take better care of ourselves. Healthier equals more RVing. That's right, when you're healthier, when you lose those excess pounds, when you walk, when you get out and move your body and eat the right foods, yeah, you'll be able to RV for so much longer, and you'll feel good about RVing, because if you're sick, if you've got medical issues and all kind of stuff going on, it's not going to be fun RVing. Take care of your body. You've only got one body. Take really good care of it, please. Jazz says, been watching your videos for a week. I've gotten more info here than any other place. Simple yet effective. Thank you. Jazz, thank you so much for that. That's really, really kind. We try our best. And I know there are a lot of RV channels out there, and a lot of them are very good. Some of them maybe not so good. Some of them are more like soap operas. Maybe some people want that kind of stuff. So, but thank you for the compliment on the RV Dummy channel. We try. We just love to help people. Not a Nomad says, I love your channel, Dr. Dave, but having enough money to retire comfortably makes my wife of 41 years very, very happy. Okay, so I thought it was going in a different direction. So having enough money makes her happy. Staying married is a huge financial plus because divorce is so expensive. Trust me, I know all about that. I basically lost about around 20 years ago or so, but 18 to 20 years ago, I lost half of my assets, half of my wealth because of a really tough divorce. It's not fun. Sometimes it's necessary, but it's not fun. And financially, it's very, very difficult. He goes on to say, we went for most of those 41 years living way below our means, so we have no debt, a decent savings, and very nice house in a safe neighborhood. Good for you. That's beautiful. I love hearing stuff like this. Our house is not cluttered because we're very intentional on what we buy if we need it. Our son lives in Salt Lake on O Street. We visited him a couple years ago in our road trek. I may have seen you in the road trek in Salt Lake. No, there are a bunch of them actually. There are a lot of RVs in Salt Lake. Did the living room hike by the university with his girlfriend, who's wrapping up her residency to become a doctor. They both love hiking, skiing, and mountain biking. Maybe you'll see it. Maybe we'll see you out on the trail someday. Take care. Not a Nomad. I'd love to see you in Salt Lake. If you're ever there or close by, let us know. We'd love to just hang out with you, get a cup of coffee. Cheryl Stanhope says, hi, I lost a hubcap on my motorhome. I'd like to ask where I can get a new hubcap. Go to a hubcap store. Go to a super hubcap store. Like they've got these big box I don't know. Where do you get a hubcap? You can get a hubcap online. Google your hubcap. Google your rig, and it'll come up eBay, Craigslist. You can find a hubcap. Google it. I'm convinced anything is available online these days. Bill Redding says, my main reason for not being able to get rid of all the things, he's talking about when I talked about, I did a video on decluttering and getting rid of things because things don't make us happy. My main reason for not being able to get rid of things I really need to is sentimentality. Is that the right word? Sentimentality. I think that's the right word, yeah. Too much of my stuff is associated with events or people in my past memories and just can't get past that. But none of it is because I have expensive stuff around materialistic or money motivated. No, I totally get that. No, sentimental things, and I'll talk about that in a second, are probably the most difficult things to get rid of. And I'll share with you how I do it. None of my reasons I have these things accumulated over many years are to keep up with the Joneses or impress other people, which is meaningless. Of course, I totally agree with you. Regardless, I do realize I have to deal with it all, and sooner rather than later, especially at my more senior age. Well, I'm going to read the next question too, and I'm going to answer both of these at the same time. From Laura Ling. Laura Ling, trying to get rid of everything too. What do you do with the things like photos, hundreds of photos, or gifts that were handmade by people that you love? It's overwhelming. That's very true. So Bill and Laura Ling. So here's what I do. I had a talk with my brother years ago. He said, look, Dave, here's what you do, because I had this whole trunk, this like steamer trunk full of like things when I was a little kid, when I went to day camp and overnight camp, and letters I used to write to my parents from camp, and pictures and all kinds of sentimental things. But so my brother said to me, he said, Dave, look, he said, my brother had just downsized. He said, look, what are you going to do? If you just keep this trunk full of stuff, one day, hopefully it's not for a long time, but one day you're going to pass away. And then your kids or whoever comes in, they're going to have to sort through all this crap, and they're going to have to throw it all out. And they don't want to mess with it. It's eventually going to be thrown out. It's not going to last forever on this earth, on this planet Earth. So the sooner you do it, look through them, read the letters, enjoy them. But then once you do that, get rid of them. So here's what I did, especially with pictures and things like that. These days, I scan letters that are important to me. I scan old cards that were sent to me. I take pictures of things, and then I will get rid of the actual material things, because again, there's only so many possessions we can have. And I know it's kind of not like the nice thing to do. If somebody gives you like a handmade gift they made 10 years ago and you've held on to this, but eventually it's going to have to go. You would agree with me there. Eventually, your kids are not going to want it. Eventually, it has to go. So why not let it go, enjoy it, look at it, talk about it, take a picture of it, then let it go, because once your life is freed up from all this stuff that's all over the place, once it's freed up, and if you look behind me, I'm in my bricks and sticks right now. If you look behind me, we've gotten rid of so much stuff. There's very little left in this house, because we're selling this house. We're going to be permanently in Salt Lake City very, very, very soon. And it's a freeing feeling. It just feels good to have our RV. We got a couple cars. I told you about that in a previous video. We got a couple cars. We've got our boo-boo, our cat. And we've got a few things, but we just don't need to be carrying around and storing a lot of stuff. It doesn't help your life. So the sooner you get rid of it, the better. Enjoy it. Read it, look at it, take pictures of it, talk about it. Then it's time to either donate, put it in the landfill, I hate to say, recycle, whatever you need to do. Because again, sooner or later, it's going to happen anyway. It'll have to happen. So you might as well be the one that takes control over it. I hope this helps. That's our last question. This is great, guys. If you have any more questions or comments, just write them down, comment on anything. I will eventually see them. I can't do all of them. It's almost impossible to do all of them, but I'll take the ones that I think are really good and helpful to everybody, and I'll try my best to read the comments, answer questions, and help you all out. RVing is so much fun. It's just a great way. It's a great way to live. It really just is getting out there and making anything in North America your backyard. What could be better? Really, what could be better than this? Until next time. By the way, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Until next time, I'm Dr. Dave, and I am the RV Dummy. Talk to you later.